Do we fully understand the implications of Greece missing the IMF deadline to make that payment?
Well, I don't think that the implications of this time, Greece going into arrears, is really a big deal. It's become a total sideshow in the grand scheme of the referendum and Greece possibly exiting the Eurozone.
Does it feed through into the banks, into the banking sector and the ECB's thinking on the banking sector, though? Because it kind of feels like the banks are right at the center of this.
That's right. I think this is all about the banks and about politics. So I think in the event of a no vote, then the IMF missed payment could become more significant in that the IMF can declare Greece in default immediately. That could cause the EFSF board to decide that actually it's going to trigger these cross-default clauses. So the default could get much bigger. And I think the ECB, of course, would then escalate as well, demand that some of these banks actually really aren't solvent and need to be wound down. And that could be a real conduit for Greece exiting and printing a new currency, because to resolve a bank, you need money. Greece doesn't have any of that, so it will have to print a legal tender.
The ECB thus far has tried to kind of sort of walk a very fine line on the politics front. It feels like it's getting more rules-based, i.e. it's going back and saying, these are the rules, we're now going to start sticking to them. Is that your impression as well?
Absolutely. I think Mario Draghi has been really looking for political cover all along. He's done absolutely everything he can to support Greece, but now that it seems like a deal isn't really coming, if it's clear there isn't a deal, if in the event of a no vote, I think the ECB will absolutely retreat 100% behind its own rules and say we can't fund these banks if they're insolvent.
How long do you anticipate the capital controls will be in place? How long do you anticipate that the banks will effectively remain shut?
I think capital controls are here to stay for a number of years at this stage. If you consider that Greek banks are almost out of collateral, even if there is a deal, it will take a long time for some of those deposits to come back. And beyond that, Greek banks have non-performing loans of over 40%. I mean, that's huge. And so they're going to have to provision against those, and they don't have the money to do that. So I think capital controls will only get stricter in the immediate term. Now you can withdraw 60 euros a day. If everybody does that, Greek banks are going to run out of cash in about a week. So I think withdrawals are going to have to become
They're already
smaller.
running out of 20s, we understand.
That's right. The most you can actually get is 50 because they can punch out a 50-euro note.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of what a deal could look like. Where's the middle ground? Where's the compromise?
So I think the compromise really will have to come from the creditors in terms of debt relief. They have to promise that as a carrot, or there won't be a deal. On Greece's side, I think in order to get a deal, we need to have a new government. I think Tsipras has lost Merkel as an ally. So I really think the only way the creditors are going to seriously sit down with Greece is if there's a new government in place and a national unity government.
So that would probably follow on from a yes vote.
That's right. If there's a yes vote, even Tsipras has now said that he would have to step down. Samaras will be in charge of setting up a new government, so I think he'd put together a national unity government that he himself could not lead because he's so politically poisonous. So someone else would have to come in and lead it, and I think the creditors might be willing to negotiate with that government.
We had a rally last night designed to support the Yes campaign, but nobody's stepping up and supporting the Yes campaign. The mayor of Athens is, the mayor of Thessaloniki is, but you still don't have this kind of lightning rod, somebody to act behind. The left have got Tsipras. Where's the political leadership that's going to counter that?
It's unfortunately coming from political parties that have been absolutely decimated by years of austerity and years of being in government. So New Democracy and PASOK are supporting the yes vote, but they don't have much of a voice because they're so small and unpopular given their involvement in the previous bailouts.
But do you think somebody needs to emerge? Do you think somebody will emerge? Do you think Tsipras will move to the centre ground? Because he doesn't feel like it at the moment. The politics feel very asymmetrical.
They are, and I don't know who could emerge to support the yes vote. I hope that maybe reason emerges to support the yes vote. I mean, a no vote in this referendum will almost certainly mean a Greek exit from the Eurozone, and I'm not sure that voters really understand that.
If I gave you a 50-euro note out of one of those ATMs and told you to place a bet, which way would you go? Does Greece have a new currency by the end of next week?
No, I don't think so. I think the yes vote will win, but no matter what, it will be very close.
Megan, always nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Megan Greene joining us from Manulife Asset Management.